Hello friends and welcome to episode 758 of the ChairShot Podcast. We are back once again. You are joined by Paul and myself for an evening of discussion and debate and debauchery.
Intelligent insight and wit. Sorry, one second. I just need to do something before we start. Sorry, I just have to move this here. Put this here. See, because I have respect for the business, so I set up the chairs.
Oh, he's doing a bit.
Before, you know, he's doing a bit. Oh, the Avery Styles story. Joe, has there ever been a wrestling story you lost interest in so quickly and just kept going?
Oh, a lot of them these days, I would say. most of the things people discuss online, it's just like.
But this especially was nothing. Avery Styles. Who was Avery Styles?
First of all, who was he? Second of all, who cares?
Yeah, he does a little forearm like his daddy. Okay, good. Great. That's all I know. And he wears similar gear. This guy. Then Eric Cannon goes on Twitter. This fucking guy doesn't set up the chairs. All right. you know. That's a funny old one. Because there is an element of, you hear in the football business, the young kids, don't they clean the boots of the older players? That probably doesn't even happen anymore. That probably hasn't happened since the 1970s.
Yeah.
But they seem like such a weird singling out of. I don't care to discuss the story, to be honest.
No.
Just kept going in the week. Kept going. What's the latest update on the Avery Styles situation? Very much in other news, the president was arrested for murder. More of that tomorrow. Vibes. Talk about the dolly. So hopefully that story is done. My feeling is it is not. We'll hear more about it. Will he start doing spots in his matches now where a chair gets knocked over and he like callously
He doesn't set it up.
dismisses it? I'm not fucking setting that up. That's not my job. How long would that last? One more week?
Oh god.
Anyway, in the real news, I mean, it kind of was. There's a bit of AEW news, a bit of indie wrestling news, which we don't often cover to a great degree. But the indies have gone mad. Is the word?
Beyond the chair thing, is that?
Beyond the chair thing, we had the chair thing, which was itself a form of madness, or at least started to make me feel like I was going through some sort of in the mouth of madness style. Sam Neill, losing my mind. Rest in peace, Sam Neill, by the way. Insanity. And then there's this other promotion, Produce Wrestling, which sounded like an interesting idea. I thought that's a cool framework for a wrestling company as we bring in a star each show, and they kind of put the card together and kind of produce the show, for want of a better word. And then turns out the fellow who runs that had this very, very embarrassing public fallout with Joey Janela. Then all sort of accusations are being levied around, and very much the feeling that that good thing that was nice for a minute, that's ruined now as well. Everything it seems like in the wrestling world that you think is good will come out eventually that there's badness behind it. Tony Khan probably secretly cocaine smuggler. Obviously that's a bit Tony before you can come for us, but
and also there's bad stuff. So
he's my coke dealer. Actually.
He's going to put out an AI generated country album. That's the secret. Bad thing.
There you go. Tony Khan getting the 0.0 on Pitchfork. So yeah, everything's gone a bit mad. It was funny as well. I was looking at a prominent Dublin wrestling promotion that I used to frequent almost every month, and their latest show has so picture in your mind's eye a wrestling poster, right?
Right.
In like 2017, 2018, that poster would have some of the local stars, of course, but maybe a Keith Lee, Minoru Suzuki, Will Ospreay, Walter.
Jushin Thunder Liger.
Liger was over for one show. I did get to see him wrestle live. This latest poster has the character is a teenage sort of brat, and his mammy, and it's like an Eric Cartman style "Who's the Daddy" storyline, and that's the name of the show. Who's the Daddy? With these two bozo characters. I'm like, oh my god, how the prominent have fallen. So yeah, indie wrestling is continuing to be what it is, I guess. So at least we have a very good week in the mainstream wrestling, which we'll talk about. We've a news item, which kind of a feature of sorts. I know we're not going to do our full-on all-in preview until next week, maybe. Mm-hmm. But I did just want to get your feelings 2 weeks out now from the show. Yeah. I'll be there in person. Mm-hmm. You'll be there in person. Sounds like in the range of 39,998-ish other people will also be there. Looks like we're heading for around 40-ish, maybe slightly over.
Well, it's like 2 weeks. I think that's I think 45.
You think we'll get
in the last couple of weeks, people will go, fuck it, I'll buy some tickets. Yeah, I think you'll get a little surge at the end.
But in terms of the show itself, how are we feeling?
I think it looks pretty good, if I have to say so. I mean, we've got 8 matches.
We won't do a full preview like we said, but
looking up and down the matches that have been announced, I'm like, there isn't one there that I'm going, oh.
Is it one that on paper looks like potentially the strongest, while at the same time, could you make an argument that like storyline wise, it's maybe the weakest
the first one? The first one was dreadful.
2020.
Do you not remember 2020? There was no storylines. They announced the card the week before, and it was like 6-man tags. Mania.
Well, let me counter your point with the fact that when MJF comes out on Dynamite each week, I still sing along to the tune of the remix of his music and Adam Cole's music.
You do a lot of weird things, Paul. Music-wise,
I'm a weird man.
Humming Game Boy fucking color themes.
What Game Boy color theme do I have?
I don't know. There was something like that. You hum. That doesn't mean anything, right? Firstly,
humming does mean stuff. Humming.
Like, all in 2023 had no. There was nothing on that show that I'm looking at it now. Nothing.
There was. I mean,
nah. What?
Look. In retrospect,
what was? Give me the storyline. The MJF Cole Brochachos, which I think had peaked before that show.
Well, no, this is what I'm getting at. The MJF Cole. We all went into Wembley, all 80,000 of us, thinking, right, tonight's the night we're going to get the big angle, the big turn. Didn't happen, of course, but there was a hook. Going into it. Storyline.
I couldn't have even told you that, though. To be honest, you're telling me that now. That is news to me.
That's why I got the memory. That's why they pay me the big bucks.
Ooh, what about Saraya versus
CM Punk with his little belt with the X on it? Don't forget about that.
And then that was something. And then Saraya, Hikaru Shida, Britt Baker, and Tony Storm. Not yet.
That was Tony. Timeless will not
remembers that. Everyone remembers that. None of these matches have storylines. Apart, I give you MJF Adam Cole, but that was like the depths of AEW. I think. Okay, I'm not going to say this show has got like strong builds up and down the card, but
it has bills, is what you're saying.
You've got Fletcher Takeshita Okada. That's been bubbling for a long time. That's not like thrown together.
I wouldn't say it's been bubbling. It's been a year of like a cauldron with a single bubble every 4 weeks.
Yeah, slow bubble, slow burn, but that is a match with a lot of history to it.
Sure.
Nia Darby Allin. He turned on him, what was that, 2 pay-per-views ago now? But
yeah.
He turned on him. Divine Dominion Brawling Birds, okay, a little bit. Omega Ospreay, that's, again, it's been based on the last few weeks, but they've got the history. I just think the actual, on paper, the matches look really, really good.
They look really
There's nothing. I'm not looking at like I'm not looking yet at like a Chris Jericho 6-man tag, or like a Hook and Samoa Joe versus the Acclaimed. You know what I mean? I'm not seeing like that level of match on this. This is like every match looks pretty like strong.
Pretty tasty.
It's got stars in it. Every match has like stars in it and has like the potential to be like a 4 or 5 star match. So maybe that so.
No, the card is very, very strong. I maybe it's 2024 and especially 2025, but of course 2025 occupies a strange, almost like it didn't happen void in my mind because it wasn't in London. We weren't at it. So to me, it is obviously a very subjective, very personal feeling, but that to me is almost like doesn't count. But arguably had the strongest build, Hangman Mox, that whole storyline. Just across the rest, obviously we'll cover Dynamite and Collision later on. The Omega Ospreay feud really is to me coming in sort of half baked. It does like in the sense of what we had last year with Mox and Hangman, which arguably one of the better executed feuds the company's ever done. And even the year before, which although thrown together to an extent, I thought Danielson Swerve was a really hot, intense feud for the month it lasted. You know, really.
I don't know. I think we remember that in hindsight because the match was. Sorry, I'm away from the microphone. That was very unprofessional. I think in hindsight you look back and go, "Oh, wasn't that great?" And actually, it was because the match was great.
No, Danielson Swerve was great. I gave my moment of the year Danielson realizing that he's the best fucking wrestler in the world during that promo. That was my moment of the year that year.
That was one moment.
Pretty good moment. We lost to have a moment in this Omega Ospreay feud.
See, I don't know about that. I think the first Dynamite after the pay-per-view where they had that promo segment, I thought that was really strong. And I think they go out and have like a 6-star match at this show, and then we look back and go, that great promo they had a few weeks before.
Remember that time Omega came out on Dynamite and talked in a weird voice for some reason? That's not his real voice, like he did on Dynamite this week.
I didn't. Will. I'm seeing a lot of complaints at the moment, and I think again it's kind of wrestling podcast syndrome, which is that
podcaster derangement syndrome.
Yeah, people who watch have to watch all the shows every week because they're covering them for a podcast.
But also analyze them and they watch it
and analyzing it to death. It's like, the build's falling. I'm not sure about the build, and it's like no one's gonna remember any of these fucking shows like in 2 years' time. Like all of these little Dynamites and Collisions that are happening before this show.
It might be visually good, sure.
If the show's pay-per-view is really good, you'll look back and you'll remember like the good promo that Ospreay did 1 week, or the Omega did 1 week, or the one little angle they did. All of this like build stuff is a little bit of a kind of construct to me. Like
true.
Wrestling fans kind of come up with the build, the go down shot.
I also want to go into All In fucking gagging.
You want to be salivating
for Ospreay to win. Do you know what I mean? No, not for the match, but for the result. Yeah. For that's where I feel like it's like
totally. But I feel that's like very rare. I'm trying to think of example. Like I think when Hangman Moxley, like yes, I really want Hangman. That was a result that I was really invested in. But I think that is rare in wrestling. It is very.
I did have that for Diane. Granted, again, the quality of the match was such that maybe that's more in retrospect. But I mean, as I said, I was so wowed by Danielson in the promos in the lead up to it that I was really, really ravenous for him. This Ospreay at Wembley seems like such, and granted, the feud is happening in the US, not necessarily in England. Yeah. So it's something that you can't just constantly refer to. I'm going to do it for all the people who aren't here in this crowd tonight, but across the sea,
Ideally, I think Ospreay this should have happened last year, but not last year. I mean, 2024, last all in Wembley, but it wasn't the right time, and Danielson had to have the last kind of run.
The irony is that Ospreay did seem on fire then, in terms of not only how liked he was by the fans, but also as a performer. That was like peak.
2024 was his absolute highest point.
Yeah.
could have been 2025, but then Hangman was perfect.
2025 wasn't in London. So
exactly, yeah. That would have been, again, it's just like not quite the right time. But then again, like we could look back next year and go, oh, remember when Ospreay beat Omega?
Yeah, we're playing 2027. That's just not
good as Ospreay beating Omega. I think it is like a lot of hindsight. So I think back, yeah, Danielson Strickland was phenomenal. And when you look back at it in hindsight, you're like, oh yeah, that all of that kind of made sense. The story, him winning it, him then, being retired by Moxley and everything. It all kind of came together as a story. Same with Hangman's redemption. When you look back, you're like, oh, fucking hell, that was great. At the time, we were complaining and giving out Hangman, he ain't done nothing, and now Hangman's going to win it. Like, he's going to be the guy. You look back, you're like, oh, fucking hell, yeah, that was great. So we could look back and see this. But I'm happy, like, as a paying fan, with what we're being offered so far.
No, the character.
And assuming, like, a few surprises, I'm like, it's pretty good.
This is the kind of card that we were discussing 3 years ago. It was our hopes for that first one, like you said, where we want to see Takeshi against Omega bumped into a 6-man match and then have actually the singles match a week later.
Yeah,
this feels like the sort of card that we really were
dream matches. Bucks, Cage, Cope, Omega, Ospreay. Yeah, it's all kind of there. I'd like to. And again, if there are a few surprises, it'd be interesting to see how we can talk about what happened on the TV. I didn't actually watch any of the TV this week.
God.
Confession time. I didn't go around to Dynamite. I only watched like 20 minutes of it. But we'll talk about any potential matches going on. But I'm generally quite positive. I'm also like, again, I think I said this last week or the week before, my mindset is that this is the last Wembley show for a while. I may get proven completely wrong.
No, I think you're right. I think
when Tony comes out and announces Wembley next year,
no, I don't think so.
I'll be like,
I mean, you see already. I don't know if it's AEW themselves, but you do see some social media accounts, AEW Fan Hub, and this. That's like, where would you like to see All In 2027? I feel like it's gone long enough now. I find it surprising that we've even had 3 in Wembley.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think they're bound to go back to the US. I think the Wembley thing will be done for at least, if they're to come back, like 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or to the point where realistically they've got so hot that they can justify doing it. Yeah. They've got, I don't know, they sign Leon Slater and he becomes the biggest star in the history of British wrestling, for example, when he wrestles Kevin Knight or Ospreay or something, you know what I mean? And you're like, oh, fuck, we've got a match that can fill Wembley Stadium. Then you do it. You don't just do it.
I wonder what the baseline is for Wembley for them to justify keep doing it, you know?
I think it would have to be like, well, I don't know, because
40 being half.
40's on the,
is
I think it's like 55. So I think 55 in a 90,000. That's pretty decent.
No, but I mean on the lower end.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's like, or for me anyway. Like if you're regularly putting 55,000 people in Wembley, that's actually like pretty good.
But I mean, lower ends will not do Wembley again. So like
below that, 30. Yeah, like 45. I'm like
45 is you're saying okay, we're there.
We're kind of like okay, but even then, to me, I think it's got to be more than half full.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
What was it? 2024, 50.
52 or something, 53, yeah.
Because that to me, even though there were sections of the stadium that were like tarped off, that didn't feel like when you saw All In 25 or even SummerSlam for WWE this year, where like half the stadium is like no one there, you know?
Yeah.
When you start getting to that point where you're in the crowd going, oh, this looks like they've squished us all to one side and are only shooting half of the stadium. 2024 for me was not there.
No, I thought that worked well. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, if you've got kind of 50 to 55, I think that's solid. Below that, and you're starting to think, well, why are we in this stadium? Also, the atmosphere will be, it's not going to be as good when you're half empty. It doesn't matter. If you've got 50,000. If it's twice the size, then it's not going to have that atmosphere. But you can imagine if you had this crowd in like a 50,000 seat stadium, fucking hell, it'd be like immense.
What's the Tottenham Stadium? Is that in the range of it?
That's 60. So that would be like, by the time you put the stage in, 50,000 capacity.
I wonder what the optics would be on going to a stadium in London, not quite as big as Wembley, slightly smaller.
That's the thing. That's
Would number one, would Americans care? I'm not saying the people who at AEW, make fun of account. I'm talking about real people, real humans people with brains.
It maybe has less prestige, but then you're selling fewer tickets, so I don't think it matters. I still think they would sell that out. I think they do 45,000 in that stadium. If they announced it next year, it does seem a bit like we're back in London, but not at the big stadium because we can't fill it. Yeah. But maybe if it's again like 2-3 years and they go back in London, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They do the NFL there. They do Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, they do Wembley. Maybe they do Wembley as well. But
how about
they're there?
Grand Slam London. So you can go to London, you can do Tottenham Hotspur, and if it not be all in, just be like do another pay-per-view. Just call it Grand Slam London.
Oh yeah, I'd be up for. Yeah, I kind of wonder if, but again, is that enough of a draw to get 50,000 people? If they did Double or Nothing. So
I think so. I mean, I think the draw of it is not necessarily all in. The draw of it is that it's a stadium wrestling show in England, a country that was starved for shows like that.
I think it would have to be a big show. I think All In is the biggest show of the year, and it's going to have the biggest matches of the year, though. So it would need to feel like a big card.
You can still do a big card, yeah. Double or Nothing, I think, is a good show.
They did 20,000 for Boot Door, and I think they could have easily sold a lot more. So I think if they said Double or Nothing, London, 2027, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium or something similar. Again, the only problem there is fitting it around the Premier League, but maybe it's late May.
Well, Double or Nothing is May, yeah. You can just switch it. Just switch like they were Forbidden Door. Move it in the year.
The first week of June because the Premier League's finished by then.
Yeah.
Come on, Tony Khan, Double or Nothing, 2027, baby. We want it.
Knowing Tony Khan, it'll be Wrestle Dream in Luton Town Stadium.
So feeling good about it. Feeling pretty good.
And then last news story is recent draft into Team Joe Towner, Nigel McGuinness, who did pick up his first win. You did get 4 points for Nigel. They announced during Collision. Nigel McGuinness, who did win earlier tonight, has suffered some kind of injury. More news to come on Monday's Continental Challenge Cup YouTube video, which doesn't help you, unfortunately, because we don't know yet what the situation is. But Nigel apparently, some sort of injury and some sort of update will be provided. What that will be, what the injury is, we do not know at the moment, but
hey, that could be a work brother. You never know.
Could be a work brother.
If not, when's my deadline for transfers to get into All In? Would that be the next
week?
Our next podcast is
next podcast.
That's the deadline to get included in the paper.
Yeah. There'll be no midweek Discord messages going, brother.
And I'll repeat that we know scripts on the night. Everyone must know the words.
Next week.
Follow up to that, what would be, maybe we need to get Barry to weigh in this as well, what would be the ruling on drafting someone who has not yet debuted?
We've done it before.
Have we done that before?
100%.
Okay.
Will Ospreay was before he had actually signed.
But he had wrestled in AEW.
That's true. No, you can definitely you can bring somebody in. That's just a risk that you'll take. You can bring someone in.
So I could draft,
Kofi
I was going to say.
You could try whoever.
I could draft. I could draft. John Cena if I wanted to.
If you wanted to, and the risk is they don't debut and you have a dud.
And you have a dud pick. And then I've lost the transfer. Yeah.
There's no problem to that. Well, no. I believe one of us drafted Ricochet prior to debuting as well.
Oh, okay.
Because he was known that he was going to come in at all.
Right.
2024. So I don't think there's any rule against that. I think because the risk is that you expect someone will debut at a certain time and maybe for whatever reason it gets delayed or they don't show up. That's up to you. That's
okay. As long as it's it's the gamble. Okay, yeah, it's this Nigel thing that was a gamble, and that is a bit of a spanner in the proverbial.
again, but we don't know what the
maybe this is all part of the Cinderella story. Maybe it's like, oh, Nigel.
The update might be Nigel was due to wrestle on Dynamite, but we're going to give him a week off, and we're going to delay one of the matches until, we don't know ultimately. Although we're only at the quarterfinal stage, and we do have 2 weeks until
we've got to wrestle on the Scotland show, the semi-finals.
These need to get quickly figured out.
Just replace him with Kip Sabian. No one will know. Say, oh, beloved English wrestler Kip Sabian.
Yeah.
Or one of the young scoundrels. What are they called? Grizzled young reds.
But I mean, you could get someone, depending on the severity of the injury, somebody just fills in for that one match and then he's back.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
You don't know. We don't know.
Bring in a sub.
My feeling is that if I was to predict, a likeliest outcome would be that he's just out, and whoever he gets drawn against will just get a bye. Probably. But we will see. And then last, we'll go to a bit of life guff, perhaps. Did go out to the cinema, see a movie that we'll talk about later on. To the IFI, the Irish Film Institute, because the movie was not airing in my local View cinema, so I did have to pay twice the cost of what I normally would pay to go to the cinema, which is fine because I wanted to go see a good movie, and I wanted to have a good audience experience, which I did have at the IFI. IFI is kind of the snootier of the Dublin cinemas. So yeah, pretty well behaved crowd. I will say the fella who's sitting to my left, sorry for listening, lad, fucking stank of VO. So because I sat down and I did the thing where I went, was that me?
Oh god.
No, I smell immaculate as always.
That's so wonderful.
Because even as I'm not really a bigger gentleman anymore, but a bigger gentleman, I don't sweat very badly. I'm not Prince Andrew. I do sweat, but I don't have like a constantly sweaty hand syndrome. This fella next to me, oh my god, smell I was like, am I at a wrestling show or a nerd convention with the smell going around? But no, the crowd were very well behaved, and the guy actually then started eating from a big, huge tub of popcorn.
Oh, God.
And the smell of the popcorn covered the smell of the BO, so I was very happy about that. But on the way in, on the bus, this is the issue, because usually when I go to the local View cinema, I drive in. So I could just park, go in. So first time taking the bus in, I don't know how long, a fella behind me, what age do you want to say? 60-year-old?
Okay.
Phone out, top volume, watching random TikTok videos, was either videos of people shouting, comedy videos like clips of Father Ted, and I think an AI Dumb and Dumber video, because it didn't actually sound like the actual Dumb and Dumber, or like the most annoying EDM pop music. So like if I asked you to search on Spotify for the most aggressively annoying music, this is the music this guy was listening to, top volume on the thing. So that was really, really annoying, and he was there for like the full hour.
Yeah,
you're like, oh my god, I hope he gets off the next stop. No, he did not. He was there the whole time. And then I went and got a Bunsen burger. Went to a different Bunsen that I've not been to, just off Grafton Street on Ann Street South, which was bloody delightful. Sometimes, depending on the place you go, I find they can be a bit hit and miss. There's one in Blanchardstown that is more often missed than hit, unfortunately. But this one off Grafton Street, we got sat immediately, ordered immediately. Food was there within 10 minutes, and we were in and out in 20 minutes.
Gosh.
And can I have the burger medium, please? Yes, and we'll actually cook it for you. How about that?
Instead of just giving you any old shite.
I've ordered medium in, again, I'm going to badmouth the Blanchardstown chain of Bunsen burger. I've ordered medium and it came and it was just like shoe leather. This was a lovely, soft, perfectly cooked, perfect bun. It was godly. It was, oh baby, it was amazing. So big shout out to that Bunsen. Like, as I said, just off Graff Street on Ann Street. Very quiet, which is crazy because this was like peak Saturday afternoon at like 2:30 p.m. Lovely weather. My expectation was we're probably not going to get to see. So we already had the backup plan of where the other one is that we'll go to on Wexford Street. And no, there was a seat outside. We just sat down immediately. Here's the order. Yeah, here's your food. Yeah, pay for it. Off we go. Had to face this. So are we good to go to our features then, or do we have anything?
Let's get into the only live go for me. I've did a big walk Friday. Had the day off. I've been doing this walk, the London Loop, which is a 150-mile walking path all the way around the outskirts of London. Started that in 2023, I think it was. I've been doing it. I only do it in the summer because the weather gets a bit wet, otherwise a bit muddy. Yeah. So just do it in the summer a couple of walks. So I finished it. I finally finished 150 miles.
Very nice.
Triumphant. Very hot on Friday, unfortunately. And I did end up breaking my step record from previous time. So it was rough. It was a tough one. But it was kind of that situation where it's like, I don't want to stop like a few miles short and then have to go back and do it again. So I was like, just keep going.
And how do you measure each walk from like where you left off, or how does that work?
Well, so I go usually finish at a train station.
So you just start from the train.
And then I go, so then I can go, and usually try and finish at a convenient one so that I can go to that station and kind of pick it up.
Yeah.
So that's obviously the hardest part of doing this walk because I don't live in central London. I live kind of midway out. But these walks are like right on the edge of London, like as far as you can go, or even slightly outside London. So it takes me like an hour and a half just to get to the walk. So that's like the painful part, and then getting back as well. But it's been a hell of a journey, and I started doing these walks in 2019 just on a whim, like all these official kind of walking paths around London. And this is like the final ones. I've now done all of the official like London.
Everything's been walked.
Yeah, I've done them all. So it's kind of it's nice. It's a satisfying thing to have done, but also a bit of an end of an era of
so what's next?
Walks. I don't know. I'm just going to walk for the hell of it. I'm not going to like. Say, I was going
to say walk it backward.
I wouldn't mind doing it again. It's a bit of a bastard though, just like all the travel and all that stuff. I might do like select parts of it again, the bits I really liked. Just don't do that again without the pressure of like, I've got to walk 20 miles. Like just go and do like a nice 10-mile walk that's kind of manageable and quite enjoyable. But probably just not do any for a while and see how I feel next year. Just like I'll probably be itching to get back into doing a nice like long walk. But that's
lovely.
Sounds good.
I did the opposite. I started my workout regiment in April, and apart from 1 week where I was sick, I've been working out 6 days a week nonstop.
Good stuff.
I had to take a few days off. This week because not sound like a wrestler, but my body is so beat up. It's like my back was sore, my legs are sore, my knees are really bad. And I said, you know what? I've been going pretty hardcore with this. Let's take. So I ran on Monday, worked out on Tuesday, ran on Wednesday, and then on Thursday I just said I just need a day off. And then I took Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and today off. I didn't do anything. So I'll be back running tomorrow. But I needed a little bit off because I'm just sore all over from just constant.
6 dates a week. I mean, that's a lot.
I do three workouts with my little dumbbells. I have two 10-kilo dumbbells, so 20, whatever that is, pounds. And I do that 3 days a week, and I do 3 jogs a week for a total of 20 kilometers, whatever way I want to divvy that up. And then I take Sundays off typically.
Nice.
But I ran 15 kilometers the other week, so I felt like, okay, let me relax for a few days and I'll go back to it Monday. But it's just, my back, because I never get a sore back. You know, people always say, oh, my bloody back, back. I never get that. My back's on. Never have a problem with my back. Yeah. And then I just had a twinge in it right between the shoulder blade and the spine.
Yeah.
So that comes with age, I suppose. Anyway, on to our features, the Fantasy League. Joe, you had a decent week. 10 points,
Solid.
Dynamite, 4 on Collision. Barry, a 5 and a 6, very consistent. And me just swinging wildly, a 0 on Dynamite and a 28 on Collision. Very happy with that. So I'm still slowly crawling my way towards Joe. 1106 to 859. So I don't know what that is exactly the difference. We're talking about 250-ish,
yeah.
I'm now 33 points ahead of Barry. So leaving Barry in the dust.
Barry, he's got Osprey. I mean, that's going to help him.
It's weird because it's true that you look at Barry's team and go, who do you take out of that, really? I mean, like, Claudio? Maybe, but like,
it's a solid team. It's just they're not
weirdly not firing the
racking up the points. But yeah, maybe Osprey winning something. We'll see. Jay White. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Tekla missing, obviously a big blow. But you've just got, I don't know. I mean, all these champions you've got.
My team just woke up suddenly after doing nothing for the first 6 months. We're like, all right, we'll all win the belts now, and we'll just go.
Time to
crazy.
lock in. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a period there where you and Barry were just every week getting 20 points, and I was getting like 2 points. And I was, because for the longest time I had Fletcher and Bandito on like nothing at the top 2 of my team, and Mercedes. Fletcher now number 5 overall. He has kind of picked it up.
He snuck up.
Only 12 points behind Orange Cassidy at this stage. So I'm coming close to breaking the
top 4.
Your grip on the top 4.
What's funny is so the last 5 weeks is this the form?
Yeah, the last 10 shows.
Oh, 10 shows. So yeah, I've had 32 matches. You had 35, but you've got double the points. There's all these championship
wins in there.
Wins and
Bandito 41 points alone, for example. And then it's like pay-per-view losses for Bandito, still doing very well.
Yeah.
Is he the top guy across the last 10 weeks? Let me have a look. Because you can see the overall form table, of course. He is. Bandito, Willow, Moxley for you, Brody King, and Andrade are the top 5 across the last 10 shows. And 4 of them on my team and 1 in yours. I mean, Moxley continues to Moxley was the number 1 guy in the company, continues to just have matches and win them all. He is surely going to be among the first picks next year again. Although he did do that in 2024, where he then took some time off unexpectedly. So I wonder if going so crazy heavy with it, he might have one of those again.
I think he's not the kind of wrestler who's not out there doing crazy spots, is he? He wrestles on the mat. He wrestles a very sustainable style. He's not doing.
He does
diving headbutts onto the apron or anything. So I think that's and a lot of tags and 6-mans as well. It's not all. It's not a thing. Yeah.
I mean, this year Moxley doing far fewer like deathmatch style stuff as well. As you say, more than stuff. It's funny because you obviously, when we did the draft, you had like the first double pick because you went third. And you picked John Moxley and Swerve Strickland. Moxley's got like 3 times the points Swerve Strickland has. Very, 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 very bizarre. But there you go. Like I said, I do have a transfer in mind. Am I going to pull the trigger this week?
Is he going to do it?
Or will I leave it for a week?
You want to do it?
I might just do it this week.
All right.
I might just do it this week. Yeah, maybe. Because, I mean, I don't think they're booked for a match. And I can picture them probably not wrestling in the next week. And then, as I said, that's the deadline for All In. So maybe I'll just do it now instead of next week when... No, I'll hold on to it for a week because there's no benefit. Because I'm doing exactly what you talked about doing earlier, Joe, is a little pick of someone who's maybe not quite debuted yet. But there's no benefit to do that because they're not going to debut this week, and maybe the person that I have, maybe they do have a match to get a point. So I'd be literally taking points off myself for no reason at all. I will do that next week. I won't do anything yet. What about yourself? Are you have anything in mind for this week, or are you going to hold off for now?
No, I'll see what happens with I didn't want to make any transfers, but
Nigel's unfortunately after one match.
You couldn't give me one stinking match, Nigel.
No, I did give you one match.
You gave me one stinking match, Nigel. We'll see. Yeah, I'll give him till next week, and then if not, I'll be looking at that all-in card and thinking, where can I place my chips to get a little pay-per-view payday? and then beyond, hopefully.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing about the year is what you've done very well, obviously, is get a lot of points, but also in the transfers you made and the trades you made. Because if you look at the points you have currently, right, just for the 10 people you have on your team, if you just count their points, ignoring the points you've kept from when you traded someone and brought someone, your team currently is 972 points. So you've actually got an extra 140, let's say. And my team is 978. So my team currently, actually, those 10 people have more value than your 10 people. But because of the trades you've done with Omega and MJF, etc., you've actually got more value, and I actually have less value based on my... And of course, without going back to it, my very, very snake-bitten picks of Powerhouse Hobbs and Tony Storm and the like. I mean, that one for me... My God, what a killer, Tony Storm.
Sorry.
Such a absolute lock, Tony Storm. She's currently of the 30 picks we made, right? She is the 22nd best pick. So eight basically. Actually still outperforming Mercedes Moné because Mercedes was a higher number pick and has actually barely... Mercedes to this point still barely a few more points. I think he got 4 more points than Tony Storm had when she disappeared. So anyway, that's our fantasy update. We're going to play WORDL-ow version 1.1. So let me pick a wrestler quickly, just off the top of my head. Okay, this is the wrestler I'm picking. I'm going to open up their Wikipedia page.
Okay.
So that I know all the deets about them. So the difference, listener, to when we used to play WORDL-ow, so it's a Wordle style, or if you've played those, what this really is based off or stolen from, is there was these online quizzes you could play, guess the footballer, and it'll give you the position, the club, so on and so forth, and tell you, oh, I've got the position right. I know it's a midfielder, and you're guessing midfield until you get the right person. So this one, Joe has 6 guesses to get the person. And when he guesses, I will tell him, relatively speaking, how close he, or not how close he is, but whether he's lower or higher, let's say, on age, weight, height, and TV debut. And we used to have letter of the alphabet. Letter of the alphabet is gone because it was too easy, too heavily weighted. So instead we have home state and we have page match score for that wrestler. So home state, I will give a compass direction in terms of, or country. I'll give it compass direction in terms of where you need to be going. And cage match score obviously will indicate whether it's a good wrestler or a bad wrestler. So Joe, let's get your first guess.
This is a tough one then. Let's go for MJF.
Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
That's the one.
Okie doke. MJF. What I should have done is written down the actual wrestlers' information, which I didn't do because I'm going to have to compare to each time. So let me quickly do that. Then we'll come to MJF in a moment. Okay.
From New York, of course.
New York.
Is he 31, 32? Probably.
Probably got to be
decent page match score, I assume.
Okay, I'm just gonna grab debut here.
Height.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna...
MJF is your first guess. MJF. Where's my search? Here we go. Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Maxwell Tyler Friedman is apparently his real name. Age 30. We are looking for somebody older.
Okay.
Build height 5'11". We are looking for somebody taller. 226 pounds. We're looking for someone heavier. Pull up Google Maps. I'll give you your direction here. MJF is from Long Island, New York. New York, USA, and we're going to do direction. Oh my God, my computer does not like Google Maps. Oh dear. Okay. Oh my God, can I see the states here? I can. Okay, we are looking for somebody who is from the southwest of New York.
That could be anywhere southwest.
Get your map out. Cage match score. Oh my God, I'm so stupid. I was literally searching cage match in cage match. MJF's score is 8.82. We're looking for somebody with an even higher score than that.
Higher
Than that.
than 8.82.
Yeah.
You're joking.
And I know it's quite amazing. I'm going to give then MJF's TV debut as, would you count it just Dynamite or
I think Dynamite, yeah.
MLW? Okay, we'll say Dynamite. We'll say 2019. We're looking for earlier than that.
Okay. Wolf. So somebody fairly big, or at least sort of 6 foot, 250 maybe, in their 30s. These are active wrestlers, right? Just to clarify, I haven't misremembered. It's an active wrestler, not any wrestler.
I suppose it could be either, but I'll tell you that this is an active wrestler.
Okay. Home stake, because otherwise they could be like 75 for that.
You would find that out eventually.
That would take a while to find out. Higher 8 points. So very good west, southwest of New York. So not like Washington.
No.
So it's got to be somewhere either in the south,
west, basically, right?
South or the kind of Midwest sort of area. I think I'll try like a south, like Texas. Who's from Texas? I'm just thinking, who would have a 9?
9.12.
Someone in their 30s. Is a 9.12?
Well, they're older than 30. That's what you know. Which, to be fair, is most televised wrestlers, I guess you'd say.
I will say, let's go with Hangman Adam Page.
Hangman Page. Okay, we'll look it up here.
Get up, Paulie. Look it up.
Okay, Hangman Adam Page, 35 years old.
Old age.
Ding, ding, ding. We're looking for a 35-year-old. Hangman Page, 6'1". That's exactly the height we're looking for.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hangman Page, 229 pounds. Very close to MJF, 226 to 229. Probably on a given day, if MJF had a big burger, he might even outweigh him. Yeah. But 229 is what we're looking for. Home state, Virginia. Virginia is to the southwest of New York. We are looking for a wrestler from Virginia.
Oh.
Cage match score. Hangman Page's cage match score is 9.12. And he debuted New Japan and Ring of Honor in 2011. In 2 guesses, Hangman Page is correct.
Well.
He's done it. He's done it.
In 2, even though Paul made it impossible. He tried to fox me, folks, but he couldn't do it. I'm too good.
He's too good.
I was very lucky with that cage match score, because once it's someone over 9, I mean, like, who the fuck?
Yeah, it's a handful of people.
Like, I can barely beat any active wrestlers with a 9 on.
Well, it being a new format, I wasn't going to pick someone too obscure, so I want to see how it went. Okay,
you
note for next time.
You could pick someone well-known. You could pick someone well-known and a bit shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I will say, I picked Hangman not having looked up any of his information, as was blatantly aware, when I then remembered that I actually had to collect it in order for the quiz to work.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't mind that went a little bit quick, because we do have 2 more features to get to.
We got some new features.
So that works out quite well.
Let's get on.
No, we're going to take our time, because that's how we do it.
Wait, I've had a couple of good ideas for quizzes in the last couple of weeks. So once Barry's back, I'm going to unleash some...
He's got to give me a break.
A couple of formats up my sleeve.
Oh, love to hear it. Okay, next week Paul's off the clock on the old quizzes. We need to mention to Barry. Barry's not here. Happy anniversary to Barry and Broda.
Happy anniversary.
We didn't mention. I need to take note of you and Michelle's anniversary, by the way, because I feel like I never wish you guys happy anniversary.
Yeah.
That's something I need to do. We're going to get to our Premier League predictions. Or not really Premier League, because this also includes non-Premier League predictions, but football predictions for the coming year. I did watch the FA Community Shield, not from Wembley Stadium earlier today, from the Principality Stadium in, I think, Cardiff. Big old pile of shite that match was. Did you watch any of it yourself, Joe?
Yeah, I did watch the second half.
I know it's a friendly of sorts, and I know that it's one game, and I know it's against Arsenal, who are very good. But Man City, for the first time in I feel like a very long time, headless chickens. Looked like headless chicken syndrome.
Headless chicken FC.
Looked like a lot of them didn't know what they were supposed to be doing. I was surprised that they had 3 specific players playing during the game: Jack Grealish, Mateo Kovacic, and Rico Lewis. I'm like, they still play for Man City? Those 3 guys should have been offloaded 2 years ago. I had no idea Kovacic was still there. I was like, when is he been? He's not been good for about 3 years. Really surprising. So I'm not going to necessarily slam the nail in the Maresca coffin just yet. It being, as I said, what it is. But they looked, even going in against Arsenal, even in a friendly situation, they looked worse than I imagined they would. They looked really, really poor.
Yeah,
but we'll see. How they get out in the Premier League. Good. It says Joe. Yeah,
I think they will. I think they will have a drop off. Like Pep
post
is a special.
Maybe not the extent of Ferguson. Because I think
they have a lot of infrastructure.
Guardiola has still left some quality behind him, which Ferguson did not really do. Here's Man United with Cleverly in midfield. Joy Moisey, take care of that, brother.
I think they have better infrastructure. Like, it wasn't like David Gill and Ferguson leaving and no plan for what happens after this. I think City have this sporting, plan.
They've still got Haaland. They've still got that.
There'll be more of a sort of Chelsea, I think, over the last sort of few years, where it's like,
well, they literally wanted Chelsea's manager.
Well,
again,
they'll win the Conference League and the World Club Cup, and then sack him.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do our predictions. I'm going to save this file. I won't lose it, hopefully, and we'll revisit it come May 2027. I've just got a few. Maybe this is as long a list as we used to do. I've got top 5. We're going to predict in the Premier League. The 3 teams to be relegated. The first manager sacked. The Golden Boot. Underachievers, overachievers, and then FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Champions League. So let's start with top 5. I'm going to pull up my little Premier League app here so I can have a look at who the teams are in this rocker competition.
So this is just the top 5, not in any order?
No, we'll do top 5 in order.
Top 5 in order, yes.
Because we need to say who's going to win. So I'm going to say Arsenal will win again.
I'm going to go Chelsea.
Chelsea to win. Bold.
Yeah.
I will say number 2. I will say Man City number 2 again. What do you think, Joe? Number 2?
Arsenal.
Okay. 3. I will go Chelsea.
Manchester United.
Okay. You're really predicting a City fall from grace here. So, number 4, I will say Liverpool.
Manchester City. Number 4.
And I will say number 5, Manchester United. I think we'll be more or less where we were last season.
Number 5. Do I go surprise or do I go... I'm thinking either Liverpool
Hull
or Spurs.
Oh, Spurs look decent, yeah.
Or Forest. I'm going to go Spurs. Excuse you.
And then the teams to be relegated. One thing I love about the table, looking at the table before anybody's played this season. How long has it been? I need to ask ChatGPT, because no human could possibly know this. How long has it been since we've had a season in the Premier League without a team starting with W?
Good question.
West Brom, Wigan, Wolves.
That's it, I think.
West Ham.
Wigan, West Ham, West Brom, Wolves.
There's been a lot. I mean, this feels like a long time since we've had. Yeah. Because I was looking at the table, and the 18th team alphabetically is Nottingham Forest, which is crazy. Only Sunderland and Spurs after them.
Very top heavy alphabet.
It is. For my 3 teams to go down, I'm looking at the list here. I will say Hull.
Mm-hmm.
I will say Ipswich.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's a clear obvious one without just saying Coventry. I'm looking at the other teams.
Mm-hmm.
Leeds, I think, are strong enough. Fulham, Everton, Palace. No, Palace, I think I have some decent players still. Bournemouth, Brentford, Brighton. Could Bournemouth losing Areola have a bad season, perhaps? I will go for Crystal Palace. A bold player.
Okay. I am going to say Hull City, Ipswich Town, and Newcastle United.
Wow.
I think they're in free fall.
You think they're in free fall?
I think they're in free fall.
How you know? Eddie, how you know? That's the name of my FPL team this season, by the way. Is how you know with HOWE.
All right, I'm putting that as the fucking artwork.
No, that's my FPL.
No, it's too late. I'm still
You stole it.
How
you know? We love how you know, of course, don't we? Okay, Perth manager sack.
Okay, so
and I will accept X's manager if we don't necessarily.
Arabaliola for Fulham.
Arabaliola for Fulham.
Arabaliola. That's got disaster written all over. I'm sorry.
Sure. Let's see. Who's Palace's new manager? Have I missed that?
It's is it a German lad?
Well, Marco Rose, I think, is the Bournemouth manager.
Or is it a French lad?
Pierre Sage.
Oh, he's got to be a French lad, isn't he? Crystal.
He's from Lens. I'll go for him. Since I've picked him to go down, I'll go for Pierre Sage. He doesn't have a name that instills confidence. You know when you hear, remember that manager for Middlesbrough who got sacked after 1 month? His name was fucking Pierre Sage.
Pierre Sage.
It's probably Pierre Sage.
Pierre Sage.
Golden boot. And I'm going to put an asterisk here, apart from Erling Haaland.
Oh, come on.
You cannot pick Erling Haaland. You have to, if Haaland wins...
I don't know any other strikers.
If Haaland wins, you have to pick the next performing player. I will go for... I will go for João Pedro.
His
name I misspelled.
I just like I'm on Fantasy Premier League. Are you on Fantasy Premier League?
I literally have just the table open. Nothing.
I've sorted by forwards.
Yeah.
And I've gone
by price.
No, I've gone teams selected by percentage.
Okay, so Haaland's be number one, presumably.
Haaland's number one, João Pedro number two.
Okay.
Half as valuable as Haaland. Number third, Calvert-Lewin. Number four,
had a good season last year.
Thiago. Fuck, but this is
pretty. But Thiago was the second top scorer. Thiago would have been the correct answer last season.
I know. This is embarrassing for the Premier League that this is the level.
Sheshko.
I'm gonna go Mbuemo. No, I'm not. That's stupid. No, scratch that.
Ryan M.
No, take it off. That was stupid. I don't. Are you? Everyone's this shit. Oh shit. Who was it? You said Thiago.
Thiago was for Brentford the second top scorer behind Haaland. Very close now.
Igor Jesus.
For Forest?
Yeah.
I think he scored like one goal last season.
He's
not a prolific scorer. So by that logic, he's due a goal.
He is the 10th most selected forward. I think.
Sure. 12th. How many points did he get last season?
For loads. Fucking hell. Loads.
Too many.
114 points.
Not too bad.
6 goals scored.
6.
So he's due a few more.
Due a couple more. Okay, underachievers. What team is going to do worse than you would expect? I'm going to say Spurs.
Ooh.
And now, people will say, well, Paul, Spurs just fucking came 17th last season. Almost literally on the last day, saved from relegation. True, but I think with the big signings they've made, Tonali, Mateus Fernandes, I think people think Spurs are going to shoot right back up the table.
Yeah.
I'm going to say they'll still finish mid-table.
That's a
bottom half of the table. Bottom half of the table. I think they'll not quite shoot up as people expect.
Okay. I'm going to pick along your lines, Crystal Palace, because they've had a very good few years.
They have.
I do wonder if that's going to, what goes up must come down.
Okay.
Especially with the old Pierre Saget.
Glasner's gone. So, yeah. Overachievers. Who's going to do way better than you think they would?
Chelsea.
Well, you think they're going to win the league, so that would absolutely be a valid answer. Who do I think will have a good season? I think the Leeds could have a good top half finish this year. How about that? Okay, let's go to FA Cup winners.
Manchester United.
Joe saying United. This is where I'm going to go Chelsea, I think. I think they have a good cup run in them. Carabao Cup, Manchester United. That's where we'll... If we put focus on anything, it'll be that about pile of shit.
Carabao Cup.
So I will remind you currently, with your guesses, have no domestic trophy for Arsenal or City.
Yeah, that's fine. I will go for...
I've written in a guess for what you'll pick.
Millwall.
Oh, it's not. He's got so out of just to prove me wrong. Millwall. Where's that coming from? Okay.
Damn, they do a good season.
Okay. I thought you might go Aston Villa.
I was thinking that, but then I was like,
it's all wrong.
No, I wasn't going to go for that even before you said that.
Yeah.
I was going to change my mind, but I was trying to think of an outside one.
And then
I should think Brighton, actually. Brighton.
We choose Brighton if you want.
Yeah, can we go Brighton for the Carabao Booby?
Yeah.
Brighton, Carabao Booby.
Champions League go.
Who will win the Ligue des Champions? Arsenal FC.
I've written in Arsenal for my guess as well.
Arsenal FC.
I think they'll do it. I think they'll do this here. Anyone but Paris Saint-Germain again.
Not those fucking pricks.
Them fucking frogs. Rats. Where I used to live, so I'm allowed to say that before anyone gets angry with me. Okay. And then final segment before we get to the TV, which I'll run us through because Joe hasn't watched it. Some suggestions. I just opened a notepad file and I was looking at the Fantasy League. And just looking at people who are like, either they're not being served well in their current presentation, or there's an opportunity for something interesting to happen with them. And so I wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ideas specific to people, and then one idea that's kind of a nebulous kind of bigger idea. And that's not saying that these are all good ideas. That's where we can discuss them, and you can tell me, Paul, you fancy yourself a bit of a pencil holding booker, but actually you're a pencil necked geek, which could be true. So suggestion 1 is the Ops. So which of course is a team of Hook, Shibata, and Anthony Bones. The Ops take on Eddie Kingston as a mouthpiece / figurehead. Samoa Joe returns to find he has been ousted from the group. I just feel like, number one, let me explain my reasoning to these changes. Okay, number one, I think Samoa Joe is too good for the Ops currently. Samoa Joe needs to be on his own again. I was thinking, okay, what do you do with the Ops then? What can you do to get this team kind of up and running? Okay, they need someone in charge, but not Samoa Joe again. We need someone else, someone who's more of a talker, someone who's more of a shit talker specifically. What's Eddie Kingston doing at the moment? He's in the cuff, but apart from that, a whole lot of nothing. And he's been a figurehead for like LAX and that team in AEW as well, with like Death Triangle. He was sort of associated with Penta and all those. And he's good in that role. So whether he could kind of elevate the Ops back to a team that they could be taken seriously, Hawk as the leader is so dead on arrival shite anyway. Then that's maybe something you could do with the Ops, could do with Eddie Kingston, and give Samoa Joe something to do upon return to like feud with Eddie King.
Didn't they already do that? Wasn't Eddie already with Hook? No, but Hook was already with Eddie, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, and it was bad. You're right.
I swear that was what happened before this. It was terrible.
You're correct, of course.
What's the common denominator here? Hook's not very.
Do you know what I originally had this? I actually changed.
Taz. Put them together.
That's what I literally had. I had Taz becomes the Ops figure, and the team is rebranded as a reborn Team Taz.
And you call it Team Taz. Hire back Royce Keys.
Who? What is that gimmick, Royce Keys?
I've got an idea, right? You get Anthony Bones, right? And he's good.
They're up to
right? You could do it with a tag team partner. What if they do a rap gimmick? That'd be good.
Yeah. I'm wearing that very t-shirt right now, listeners. I'm wearing my Acclaimed t-shirt. Remember that?
The Acclaimed.
Okay, so I'm 0 for 1 so far, right? Let me hit you with number 2.
Go on
then. It's just 6 words. Nick Wayne joins Don Callis family.
Okay, I'm not against that. I think that's got potential. My only problem is, again, we've got this almost like never-ending revolving cast through the Callis family, where it kind of you must forget like who's come in and who's left.
With people who are in that group,
they do get. They get
put.
He's more of he's sort of Don Callis, black and white, NWA B team.
Don Callis, Latino Don Callis.
Yeah. Ingobernables to the Indies.
Yeah. So I think Wayne a lot. I'm trying to figure out where he fits. I like him on his own. I don't think he has the catch. I think he needs to be part of something. Have a manager, something bigger, right?
That's what it is.
Does he fit the kind of Death Riders mold? Maybe there's the arguments you could make is that there are people in Don Callis' family who are better fitted for Death Riders. I think Nick Wayne's maybe better fit for Don Callis' family.
He's not a great fit for them. I was just thinking, I think the problem is he's not a great promo. I'm glad they got rid of his mother. She hasn't appeared for, seems like.
Mother Wayne.
Mother Wayne.
But Paul Avatar.
You don't want to, like having your manager be your mum and she's a foot taller than you. I don't think that's ideal. So I'm glad she's not appearing. I think he does. He needs someone on the mic. You know who's a great talker?
And Eddie thinks that.
No, I was thinking wrestlers. I always feel like they still need to do something with Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
Because I always just, whenever he's on mic, I'm just like, oh, he's so good. And he's a good wrestler as well, actually. But he's just maybe not quite got to that like higher level. But I was thinking like some kind of group, almost sort of like a fresh group of youngsters. You know what I mean? Not like that they have to have like an Eddie Kingston or a Samoa Joe with them, but just get like a young kind of upstart group who feel fresh, and it's not like little brother syndrome where it's like, really, Samoa Joe's the leader and this kid's
sure.
Just like a group of youngsters who can like just be on their own and kind of, but you need a good talker, and that's why I was thinking like Daniel Garcia can really, you know, he can deliver something like that. Yeah, I like they're doing Nick Wayne. He really does need something big. That's not bad. That's not bad. We give that a B.
A B. Okay. Okada wins the international title at All In under the auspices of keeping the title in the Don Callis family, and promptly turns face and leaves the faction.
Oh,
I think it's time for Okada to. We've done the heel Okada gimmick. We've done he has a little face while something's going on. He gives it a middle finger. I think people are ready to like be into a super baby face Okada. You know, the legendary Okada run.
Yeah,
Maker Okada.
I think that would be good, but I think it needs a bit more prep,
bit more tease,
bit more seasoning to that sort of turn.
But that's kind of my thought process. Is we've done so many times the guy in the family is getting Nancy.
Yeah,
they tease and tease, and they finally leave. It's just a surprise. A swerve, a twist.
Okay, you know what I mean? Convincing me. Yeah, I can see that. Maybe we expect Fletcher to turn, and it's actually Okada.
Right.
So instead, yeah.
He gives Don the middle finger right into the face.
Yeah.
Gives Don the Rainmaker. I mean,
yeah.
That's the thing. He's been heel literally since he debuted 2.5 years ago now. I mean, I think
people want to cheer Okada.
They want to cheer Okada, and they wanted the New Japan Okada. I say I want it, you know? Because I feel like the heel Okada has had a ceiling. I think Okada is someone who could very easily hold the world title if he had a good run at it, you know? So, something there. Divine Dominion breakup. Megan Bain into the world title picture, Lena Cross into the TBS title picture.
No brainer.
I love Divine Dominion.
A plus.
That women's tag division is dead ski. There's nothing to it. There's one team for 3 months, and then they go, the British ones.
It's rubbish, isn't it?
And then they'll win, and then what? They'll throw 2 other people together for, you know, I like the concept of having women tag belts, but they don't invest the time into it, which will come to shortly. But break them up. Megan Bain feud with Willow, Lena Cross feud with Maya. Or they don't even need to be in the feuds right away, but they need to be in those pictures instead. And then last one, here's one for you, for something for these boys to do. Swerve Strickland's partners for his trios title match at All In are revealed to be the Hurt Syndicate.
That's interesting because I had the same thought. They might happen. Not that I would fantasy.
And they become a cushion of the door.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, because I was kind of like, the only thing that stopped me thinking that is that Hurt Syndicate. Maybe this could go either way, but they were on TV this week, right?
They were with Shane.
So I was kind of thinking,
what was that?
Yeah, because I was thinking if you're going to do that, then you'd keep them a surprise as well. But I was thinking, because it just, this
How can you bring a New Day babyface?
This is it, preempting Dynamite. I'm like surprised if they come in with Swerve, because surely they come in a bigger role and as babyfaces, not as Swerve's kind of heel mates. But maybe they want to do something completely different. They don't want to be New Day. They want to come in and with a real fresh sort of feel to it.
Also, the thing is, I like MVP and the Hurt Syndicate. The problem is, they've been doing nothing since that MJF program weirdly ended prematurely.
They don't want to put anyone over. Shelton will, but I don't think Lashley wants to put anyone over unless he's winning the world title.
What happened with Swerve? They can win matches. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And then when their contract runs out, fire them. They're old anyway.
Yeah, get rid of them anyway.
While you have them.
No, I do think that would be an interesting swerve.
No fun.
Interesting swerve.
Yeah. Although I will counter my own point and say that if they did do and Swerve Strickland's partners and the Hurt Syndicate music played, the air would just come out of the stadium like a balloon going.
Yeah, how do you counter that then? That's fine if you've got then.
If New Day have debuted already.
Then to the New Day, or do they like come out like after or something? I don't know. I think there's a way you could do that without it being a big disappointment, but
okay. Final suggestion is, and this is something that we've kind of talked about before, this is to me a no-brainer, a renewed focus on the tag team and women's divisions. To make room for this, the mid-card male singles belts, of which we have 4, are lessened in number or given some specific rule set. Unify the international TNT belts back into one. Continental continues as is. And national championship becomes the junior heavyweight belt. 200-pound weight limit. The problem with creating some sort of gimmick to the belt is that you can't really have a stylistic one because everybody in AEW wrestles more or less the same style. So it has to be something where there's more of a logic to it, I guess. So like a weight limit or hardcore, or the problem, as we've discussed ad nauseum, is you have 4 belts, with the exception of the Continental Classic or Continental Championship, which has its no one at ringside, blah, blah, blah. I mean, the other 3 belts are totally interchangeable. And they're the exact same thing.
Yeah, I'm all for changing the belts. I think I'd probably I'd be happy just to get rid of the international. Like, you don't have to merge it, just fucking retire it. Or the national title again, I don't like. That to me, those two are just completely interchangeable.
The national title,
the names are even the fucking same. International, national, like, come on. I would change. I'd get rid of both those belts and introduce a super heavyweight title.
The meat belt.
You got, nickname it the meat belt, and it's got to be over 300 pounds or over.
The super heavyweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
You got to be 300 pounds. I don't know, or whatever. Like,
the 2 guys on the roster who meet that threshold.
There's probably a few people who are like 280 or above.
Shane Taylor gets JD Drake every week on TV.
Give it to Bobby. That could be Bobby Lashley's belt. It could be the super heavyweight champion, and have him just.
Let's say 250 rather than 300. But then
they kayfabe, like Hangman was 250, was they kayfabe a lot of people as 250. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, 275 kind of weight, super heavyweight title. Brian Cage,
Bland Parsberry,
Lard Touch, Satnam C, all of it. WORDL-ow if he ever gets fit.
Yeah, WORDL-ow last time I saw him was 375.
Just the fucking
and then final one, which we've also touched on before, but I still think it's a good idea. Tag team and trios belts are also merged.
Yeah.
With a new rule that the belts can be defended as either.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
They can be defended as a trio, can be defended as a tag team. So you can have like Rodito against FTR. Yeah. Or then if Rodito win, they can defend it in a trios match against somebody with a partner. And the belts are kind of fluid in that regard. They're half tag team, half trios belts, let's say. So there you go. That's all the suggestions I could come up with off the top of my head. And this isn't, again, to say that Dynamite's not in a good place. Just that I was looking at the list and saying, oh, there's some opportunity here. Okie doke. Let's jump over to the television for the week, of which I've watched a ton. So I've watched Dynamite, and I had Collision on in the background while I was cooking the dinner today. So I'll pull up the TV reports here once I can find them on this godforsaken FRW website. Here we go. So we opened with this was Dynamite. We were welcomed onto the air by Excalibur with Tony Schiavone and Tom Boutwell, Paul the Big Show,
Paul the Big
White,
Boy,
who I do enjoy his commentary. He's a little bit cheesy, he's a little bit corny, but I do like him a lot. And this is where we had the Ospreay, Don Callis, Kenny Omega promo. Ospreay's stuff was fine. I still feel like his instincts for when to be serious and when to be your funny best mate, which he loves doing in promos. And to be fair, when done right, the crowd eat it up like a lovely bowl of Rice Krispies. But I feel like there's a time to be serious, and there's a time for that. I feel like he sometimes does it at inopportune times. So, for example, we're really into the meat and potatoes of this Ospreay Omega feud, right?
Yeah.
And he says they're talking about, Ospreay has in the past been reluctant. We saw this in the feud around his use of the Tiger Driver, that sometimes he's hesitant to pull the trigger. This is the story of the feud. Essentially, we saw this at the last pay-per-view when he didn't want to put the bag on the head and so on and so forth, and going back to the Death Riders and all of that. So he says, I hope you realize that I will pull the trigger given the opportunity. And I know you're backstage this week as well. He made reference to the fact that Omega wasn't on the Grand Slam Mexico show. I know you're backstage. So if Michael Nakazawa is done trimming your testicles, maybe you could join us. Ooh, that was landed like a big old ton of lead.
This is why you don't watch Dynamite every week. This is why this is the problem.
You watch it every week, but this is
what you do is you watch the highlights occasionally.
Because I mean this opened right with Ospreay talking about the year before the Grand Slam show. We got a text from his mother that his granddad had passed away. Did the thing where when big tough men get emotional and they like go and like hold it in. I'm like, you idiot! Have you never watched a Cody Rhodes promo? Get the quivery lip, let a tear come out. You'll be the biggest babyface in the world. He didn't do it. Talking about his beautiful wife. So it's going real well. And then he's talking about Michael Nakazawa and Kenny Omega's testicles. Not great. Don Callis' music hit, and he came out, and this was going well. Don Callis and Ospreay. So Don Callis came out and made reference to the fact that he used to be in the group, and obviously Kenny Omega won the title under Don Callis' watch, and so on. They then got Ospreay then got attacked by all the top names from the Don Callis family. Trent Beretta, Rocky Romero. I mean, Jake Doyle and Mark Davis. To be fair, great. Yeah. Just have Jake Doyle and Mark Davis do it. Roppongi Vice beat up anybody. Come on. Kenny Omega came out with a pipe, made the save. And then they started doing this like kind of not great promo where Omega, when he's being serious, talks in this strange voice where he goes, well, Will, you know what's going to happen at the pay-per-view, Will. And it comes out very, very cheesy.
Yeah.
Just be real people. Don't try to be delivering a promo, which is what this felt like. Just talk natural. And the whole thing was, you came out and helped me as I was being attacked by the Don Callis family. I don't need your help. I didn't ask for it, nor will I need it again. Okay. We have MJF, Nick Wayne, Speedball Bailey for the number 2 spot. Casino Gauntlet at All In. Great stuff. Mm-hmm. This is why I immediately said, let me figure out something for Nick Wayne to do, because this guy is great. Really good showing for MJF. Speedball, as usual, delivered as well. Funny bit during the match when Mike Bailey took out Nick Wayne and MJF with a springboard acai moonsault, and MJF crawled over to Paul White at the desk. Tall Paul, help me. Mm. And Big Show, Mr. White said, sorry buddy, I'm busy. And it was funny. This was actual funny stuff. Match continued. Mike Bailey got the Ultima Weapon on Nick Wayne. MJF chucked him to the outside, quickly applied his Salt of the Earth armbar, got the win via tap out. And then he did the Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, played the Andrade music, but Andrade, of course, was not there. Mm-hmm. And MJF is coming for the belt. And he is the one true champion, the OTC, which is, of course, Roman Reigns' nickname. Oh, my God, he's doing it.
Oh, my God.
Divine Dominion were at the Brawling Birds Bar, which is, as far as I can tell, just a bar with a sign that someone put up that says Brawling Birds on it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the gimmick was that there was a Brawling Birds bar.
No, I didn't get that.
Anyway, they did a God Love 'Em. Not a very good promo. And then they had beers, right? They had these big, almost like Stein glasses. Yeah. And they said, cheers to the birds. They had a good run. And I thought they were going to like down them in one and be like, you think you're the fucking, we fight and we drink. We do that even better than you. And then they just dropped their glasses on the floor. I guess symbolizing that that's the future of the birds or something. I don't know. They look again. Love Megan Bain, like Lena Cross, but love Megan Bain.
Yeah.
But their promos are like so flat. We're the Divine Dominion. We're coming for you. And
so kind of intimidation thing. It's not very.
But it doesn't come off intimidating. It's just really, really
dull.
You're right. Mick Foley backstage with the Bang Bang Gang. It was good. We had David Finlay, Jay White on the show, of course. Mm-hmm. It was alright. Decent match. Jay White did get the win with Blade Runner. Kind of out of nowhere. Basically, Finlay was just clobbering him, beating him up, went for the finish. Jay White caught the knee, hit the finish out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3. So Jay White goes through. Feeling is... I know last week I was talking about Eddie Kingston's chances. Are we just going to have Jay White box at Wembley? Is that going to be the final? Or are we going to do something with the Dogs and the Bang Bang Gang and maybe some of the Death Riders? Something in that direction instead. Because that feud is still ongoing as well. Or will these guys just not be on the show at all?
Jay White Mox does not excite me.
No. And this is the funny thing. Is for how heavily involved Mox was in the whole Ospreay Omega story. It seems like suddenly, okay, they did the bit at the pay-per-view where Ospreay kind of fought back against Death Riders, and that's just over now, I guess. We had Hangman Page and Brodito's title celebration interrupted by the returning Swerve Strickland, which I'm sure you were very, very happy about. Mm-hmm. Again, this is kind of strange, though. Similar to the Omega Ospreay earlier on. Strickland came out, and Strickland and Hangman Page are doing some good promo work back and forth. Mm-hmm. And then, like, the Demand come out with the Lethal Twist. And it was like... I don't know. Imagine back in the day you're watching The Rock and Steve Austin and Triple H do a promo, and then like High's music plays.
Oh no!
And they and Val Venus come out. I
know. I'm sure there's some reason here. Something's happening. They've got to get the demand there to do something. But I just like...
The stars are talking.
It's like, just guys, yeah, we're busy. Yeah, so this is an interesting, because this then, the assumption, everyone's assumption is Swerve brings in New Day to face Hangman and Brodito.
Yeah.
So that raises the...
That wasn't made here.
That wasn't made, but that's just the hints, and the assumption is that... So we've already mentioned, is that the best use of New Day? Could be interesting, depending on what they do with Swerve, but a bit unexpected. Also makes me think, are they going to do a trios match at All In? And if they do, then surely Swerve and New Day would have to win that. They're not going to lose, are they, on their first night in? Which means you're switching the belts again, I guess. Does it matter? It's a trios.
I think if they were to do that, the demand would probably also be in the match. It would be like a 3-team trios match, which I don't care for particularly. In fact, I almost feel like it's more likely that it would just be Brodito and Hangman against the demand. And actually, we're not going to do anything with Swerve. Because at the end of Collision, guess what they teased at the end of Collision?
What was that?
Jack Perry, as you know, thinks deludedly that he will be the world champion someday.
Whatever you're going to say next, I'm not going to enjoy it. If the first half is Jack Perry, unless the second half
he thinks he'll be the world champion, and he thinks iron sharpens iron, so he needs to fight people who've been to the top of the mountain. Enter from stage left, Swerve Strickland.
No,
and they're teasing a match, I guess, on TV. But like, why is Swerve Strickland doing it? Swerve Strickland already from Dynamite was setting up something with Hangman. Now he's going to have a match with Jack Perry, which seems totally 90-degree to everything that's going on. Let's see. But it seems strange that Swerve Strickland would come out and not like make a challenge here. And then the demand come out, further muddying the waters. And then on Collision, Swerve Strickland's doing something else.
This is why I don't watch the TV. It just confuses me more than it enlightens me.
Joe had a headache after watching.
I'll look at the pay-per-view lineup and I'll work backwards and be like, oh, they must have done this.
No, well, let me clarify.
I'll work out my own storylines based on the pay-per-view.
Let me clarify. This goes to what you said earlier, right? We are podcast brained. We have podcast derangement syndrome. We're also been watching wrestling for a combined 50 years. Way more than 50 years. 60, 70 years.
I've been watching for no.
I'm coming up on 30. I'm thinking 28 years.
What year is it? I've been watching for 35 years.
60 something years.
Fucking hell.
So, we're allowed to be a little bit jaded. And also to just give the context that the TV's been really good the last few weeks. This was the first week, I want to say, in 3 weeks at least, 3 or 4 weeks, that I thought Dynamite was a bit iffy. I think the 3 Dynamites before were all great, especially Grand Slam. Did you see this Kevin Knight, Chris Jericho finish? Did you see the clip of it?
I didn't see it. I've heard it was bad.
It was so funny. Kevin Knight, Chris Jericho match was pretty good, I would say. Certainly as far as Jericho goes. He gets him in the Boston Crab, the Walls of Jericho, the Lion Tamer. Don Callis rolls into the ring. Jericho goes, no, don't come in the ring. And then Jericho, still holding Kevin Knight's legs in the submission, waddles over to the rope for Don Callis to stab him in the head with the screwdriver from the outside. Which wasn't even then the finish of the match. Kevin Knight then hit the coast-to-coast gimmick. Jericho kicked out. UFO Splash got caught in a code breaker. Jericho missed the Judas effect. Knight hit a low blow. And then his rock bottom for the win. So what was Don Callis' screwdriver thing was just kind of incidental. And they made a complete mess of it. Complete mess. I'd recommend check out the clip. You'll get such a laugh out of it. It was so horrible, but very, very funny.
Jericho probably did it on purpose. That's the thing.
I almost am happy it happened because it was the highlight of the match. It was so funny. I was laughing for about 10 minutes straight. Otherwise, I wouldn't have remembered it. Chris Statlander, this is where the show hit an unfortunate lull, right? So while on Collision, you had Mercedes Moné have a match with Zeta Steel, after which Willow came out and had a little promo, which was very good. Notice that the women's world title, which to me, in my mind, should be on par with the men's, if not very slightly under. But I would have the women's world title as your second most important title in the company. Certainly more important than the tag team belts. Certainly more important than your international, continental, so on. No sign of the women's world title on this show at all. Mercedes not on the show. Willow not on the show. But you do have space and Dynamite for Chris Statlander versus Viva Van, and Persephone and Hikaru Shida versus Maya World and Thunder Rose. These two matches were very, very dull. And but to be fair, I almost went in with like a mindset against them, where I'm like, where's Willow? Where's Mercedes? These are the people I want to see.
Yeah.
Chris Statlander, Viva Van. If that was on Collision, I wouldn't turn my head to look at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is on Dynamite. This is unbelievable that this was on Dynamite. Not that the match was bad. Not that these people are bad. But we're 2 weeks from All In. Dynamite should be end-to-end progression towards all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this was something. We then had the little Fletcher Okada tease mentioned the fact that the match will be a triple threat match. Okada said, yes, we'll keep the belt in the Don Callis family, having a big smile on his face. Fletcher not happy about it. And then main event, John Moxley, Jack Perry. You would be surprised to hear, as far as Jack Perry goes, that the match was very good.
Yeah, I mean, he's fine. Jack Perry in the ring.
Jack Perry, big blade job.
Oh, he loves a big blade job, doesn't he?
Loves a big blade.
He's a tough boy.
Moxley put him away with a choke. Match was very good.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Dynamite. Like I said, a bit iffy, but to be fair to them, one of the first iffy shows in a little bit. Collision was fine as well. Lethal Twist versus Hangman, Brody King, and Bandito for the Trios Championships. Ooh, baby. 2 free title defenses for Team Paul. You'd love to see it. Match itself was pretty good. Blake Christian and Lee Johnson are quite fun. Obviously, we can't really take them seriously as like Dynamite caliber team, but they're decent. Jay Lethal was also there. And the match was pretty fun. After the match, Ricochet and the Gates of Agony beat up Brodito and Hangman Page, further going in that direction. So I don't know if this is something they'll blow off on TV maybe next week, but my feeling is there will be some interplay between those teams in Wembley. So let's see. Brian Page Hedge Cero for the first round, Continental Challenge Cup. Hedge Cero got the win with a kind of one of those pins where you kind of fold the fella into a pretzel and hold his legs sort of over his head so he can't get going.
Right. Yeah.
Good little win. Darby Allin promo from like a train station, an abandoned train station where he was kind of hiding his face next to a train. Guess what? He's going to beat up Kevin Knight at Wembley. So it was effective in that regard. The Rascals were backstage in a smoky room.
Oh.
What were they doing in there?
Dunno.
And then Leah Rush appeared, and Leah Rush had one of those umbrella hat things on. Which also, for the second time this week, had me laughing for about 10 minutes. Because he does the...
I didn't know that. Is that a new
and he's
thing?
had an umbrella before. He had an umbrella in the previous thing, but now he just has one of those little umbrella hat things that people wear. Oh my god. What is going on with this guy? No comments. Divide Dominion won a match in 2 minutes against Rochelle Reverter and Maserati. Brawling Birds ran in afterwards and attacked them. They're going to throw Megan Bayne through a table. Lean across, grabbed her by the arm, and they ran away. Yep. Nigel McGuinness, Katsubura, Katsuyori Shibata. Your boy Nigel. I will say there was one part of the match where I thought, I wonder if that's where he got injured. It was like Shibata was doing his PK kicks, and Nigel like blocked a kick with his own foot. And it just looked like Shibata just kicked his foot full force. I wonder if something in his foot got hurt. Nigel with the win anyway, with the old Bret Hart, Steve Austin kind of roll through the $1 Million Dream pin gimmick. So Nigel won. He looked very happy about it. And then we got obviously later in the show the sad outcome that he was hurt during the match. Renee interviewed Will Ospreay about finding 2 partners for Dynamite. So he's going to have a match on Dynamite. I forget against who. So how well I was paying attention. I'm sure it's on the AEW socials. But essentially, he has to draft in 2 partners since he's not got the Death Riders anymore. He's not got Omega and the Elite anymore. So he's going to make a call to some friends in Japan. Hinare is still his buddy. Akira is still his buddy. He's not sure about Callum Newman. I'm like, are we not 2 weeks out from All In? What are we doing this like Forbidden Door shit for? I mean, we'll see when it happens, of course. Like, I'm prejudging.
Hinare? I don't...
Who are they against? Do you have it in front of you?
Brian Cage, Rocky Romero, and Lance Archer.
What a bagger. Well, these were on Dynamite earlier in the year. When Callum Newman showed up with the belt, remember that?
I don't believe you.
I didn't watch that Dynamite.
I did watch it. These men are not known to me.
These are not real wrestlers. This is AI. AI generated fake wrestling.
I mean, if this is what's going on in New Japan, no wonder they're struggling.
But this is the thing: is like, okay, the match can happen, and I'm sure some build for All In will take place. That's fine, but it does feel weirdly unfocused that you would have 2 weeks out from your week and a half out from your big show of the year. It's like, and then we bring in Ospreay's like old New Japan buddies for a trios match that has nothing to do with anything. Okay. Leo Rush and the Rascals won their match against a bunch of geeks. Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, Shane Taylor, and Lee Moriarty won a match against a bunch of geeks. Zayda Steele was beaten by Mercedes Moné, after which Willow went out, and they had that good segment. One thing I liked about the match specifically is Willow does the smile anyway catchphrase, of course. So when Mercedes had Zayda Steele in the statement maker, she fish hooked both her cheeks into like a smile, which was nice. That would have been really good on Dynamite. It was here in Collision where a very small number of people watched it. We had the Jack Perry, Shane Strickland, my God.
Swerve
Strickland, excuse me. His 2018 name came to my head for some reason. We had that segment that I referenced previously. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks will also be having a match against 3 members of the Don Callis family. Why are we all featuring the Don Callis family Sunday? Cajun Cove came up and they kind of rehashed the mistake made in their match in Mexico that caused them to lose. The Young Bucks called Cajun Cove old. And then the main event was Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong in a first round match, which O'Reilly also won with a roll-up. That happened in all 3 matches.
Good Lord.
All 3 of those first round matches ended with incinerated, whatever you want to call them.
Let's just get to All In. That's going to be a great show, and then we enter what I like to call the
time of the year where Paul has to write an episode of Dynamite. It got so bad.
We then get into like, okay, we just got to get through September and October, and then we're into the Continental Classic, and that's your year done. I feel like AEW is very much like Revolution to All In is the year, and then after that, it's kind of like, we're just going to get through the rest of this year.
It is a little bit of like Backlash, where Backlash was always like,
Yeah.
Don't WrestleMania back. But I will say once more that Dynamite has been really good the last few weeks.
I've enjoyed it.
This was a bad one, which is, I don't want to overreact and be like, oh my God, the house is on fire. It's rubbish. No, I mean, Dynamite's been really good the last few weeks. This one, I feel like where it needed to hit, some of those segments, I just came away from them thinking, was that really the best execution of it? So, with specific regards to Osprey Omega, the Swerve Hangman stuff, and Willow Mercedes being on Collision. I would question decisions made in all three of those. But like I said, an off week, let's call it that. And let's react to it based on what it was. The G1 concluded this week, Joe. I'm free. I can watch other stuff again. I feel like my time for watching movies and TV shows has been really, really restricted this year with the World Cup straight into the G1, which I watched every G1 show, of course.
Well, again, Paul, podcaster derangement syndrome. You don't have to watch all this stuff.
The G1 is great this year. It was the best G1 in quite a while.
It was good.
I'm saying I'm happy now that I have time to watch other stuff. The G1 final, Joe, I don't know if you've seen the result or seen anything about it, but if not, I would recommend don't look it up and watch the match, because jump into this time machine with me, Joe. Let's go all the way back to 2017, 2018. Remember when the G1 final was like a shoe-in match of the year contender?
Yeah, sure.
We're back, Marty.
Oh, nice.
It's happening again with Ryohei Oiwa and Yuya Amura, who had, I'll take all of that you got. An absolute stonker of a final, which I really enjoyed. And in fact, I won't spoil, because I will say, anybody listening, if you did not check it out, or you're curious at all to check it out, it's out there. I provided our good friend Barry a little link ski, because there's a website that I use to watch all this stuff where not only can you stream it, but you get a nice little download link, and I put it on my USB in very high resolution, big old 5 gigabyte file, and up onto the television. So I would recommend, like I said, to anybody who has not checked it out, and Joe, that would include you, if you're not checked it out, I would recommend it. If you can fit a 35-ish minute match into your very busy schedule. It was a stonker. I won't spoil the result.
I can't actually tell you what, might have been before last week's show, but I watched some Leon Slater matches on YouTube, because I haven't seen, I don't watch TNA or NXT, so I hadn't seen any.
I'll tell you, he's got a very impressive finisher.
I watched him versus Javon Evans from some TNA show, I don't remember. It was a little bit like, the funny thing is, you see these bad faith people online criticizing AEW. It's all flips, and it's all like gymnastics, and it's all like so fake and scripted.
The match sounds like
that match is the epitome of that, the sort of thing you wouldn't ever see in AEW. That was the epitome of it. But I liked it because it's still good, even though it's a bit hokey.
I think Javon's a little bit overrated. I'll say that.
But speaking of which, I did watch that match, and it was good. Had a no finish, which was a bit disappointing. But I don't know. Maybe I think I need New Japan to be good for a couple of years before I might bother to watch it again. I'm not sure that's
this was a very good match. I'll say that. I'll give a little summary without spoiling it. Is Ryohei Oiwa is a big beefcake with big muscly arms. He's not like Brian Cage, but he's like a big chunky New Japan boy who has like successfully in this G1 submitted people with a side headlock.
Nice.
He calls the Big Rock.
Oh,
he gets you in a headlock and squeeze. And he does a big lariat called the Big. What's the lariat called? The Big something as well. And Yuya Amura is like a proto Tanahashi. He does the frog splash, same as Tanahashi did. He's got colorful gear. Comes out to a really good theme song. I love him. But he also has a little bit of like Zack Sabre Jr. light to him, where he does some intricate submission stuff.
Yeah.
And he does like a top wrist lock. Think about that. So a lot of the story of certainly the last like 15 minutes of this G1 final, it was a lot like really simple, like headlock. Oh, he's selling the headlock. Oh, he reversed into the top wrist lock, the over the top wrist lock. Will the guy tap out? And it's funny because, you know, I felt a lot when I've watched wrestling where people try to bring in a submission hold like a wrist lock or like a headlock, and I can't buy that anyone would submit.
Yeah.
You know, some of the submissions you see nowadays are so either devastating looking or intricate looking, but also the MMA influence and all of that, of course. But I was like, I can't buy that. The way these guys sold in this G1 final, I 100% bought that the finish could be a top wrist lock or could be a headlock.
It's all in the selling.
It was top stuff.
Yeah.
And I think New Japan, I think we can pretty definitively say they're starting to come out of that period where they kind of were in the wilderness a little bit in terms of who the stars are or aren't. They've got 3 guys now, 3, you know, Japanese, Yuya Amura, Ryohei Oiwa, Yota Tsuji, and Takeshita to an extent as well. I mean, they've got guys now who I can buy into as being like top Japan guys, which for the longest time did not feel like that was the case. And unfortunately, we just obviously come out of Forbidden Door season. If these 4 guys are on, or Takeshita notwithstanding, but if those 3 guys were in like top level matches and extras Forbidden Door, I'm like, we're back. These guys. Right. I mean, 5-star easy. 5-star easy for this G1 final, maybe even more.
Fair.
It was absolutely tremendous. Also tremendous was the semi-final from this weekend with specifically the semi-final with Umura and Yota Tsuji, which was also excellent. Not as good as I like the final more, but it was really, really, really great final. So go to your Watch Wrestling equivalent and check it out if you got some time. Absolute banger. And then Dark Side of the Ring this week was Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful. And it was a more interesting story than we've had the last couple of weeks. Big Boss Man and Renegade. Kind of wishy-washy to an extent. Paul Orndorff's story was good. Excuse me, good because obviously he was integral to the first WrestleMania.
Yeah,
which I feel like he doesn't really get credit for. Those kind of first 2 WrestleManias to an extent are skipped. It's almost like, even though it's not inherently stated in their history or revisionism, but the feeling you get when WWE look back at the history of WrestleMania, it's almost like the main event of WrestleMania 1 was Andre Hogan. At 3, you know, they treat it like that's WrestleMania 1 main event,
or like it's Hogan and T, right? Like
or Hogan and T.
If they talk about WrestleMania 1, like there's no sense of like Orndorff, and even though Hogan Orndorff was the big draw, wasn't it? That was the big feud that set it all on fire, and
maybe
to a degree like
the more
well recognizable,
mainstream.
Even to the degree like Piper as well, like that bit kind of gets written out as well, but yeah. So what's the dark side of Orndorff then? Because I don't know.
Well, no, this was a more positive one, but obviously he had the nerve damage with the one little arm, and the pile driver spot in WCW.
I like the stuff you do about his little arm, his little wanking arm.
Oh my god! See, if he was still around, I would. Number 1, laugh at that joke, and number 2, probably add to it. But I feel like probably I should say stick away from that. But it was a good story. It wasn't so much like the darkness around Orndorff. It was kind of obviously he came from an extremely tough upbringing. They kind of touched on that, and that maybe there was some lack of social development almost that he had because of that.
Okay.
But I mean, it was mostly positive. He was positively thought of, but had this very severe injury and kind of. Because of that, he went from this top line feud with Hogan, and then could kind of never truly recapture that. You know, he sort of turned his back on McMahon when he left WWF. The start of the 90s, went to WCW, could never really recapture that. Obviously, then he was like a trainer at the power plant post his injury, and that's when he came back and had the issue, the neck injury doing the pile driver. And then he was went to the Hall of Fame and all that, and then that passed away. The memory I have of him towards the end, obviously there was they covered also the video that his son put out where he was hospitalized with dementia. They kind of touched on that. Right. That he got a lot of bad feedback from wrestlers specifically about showing Orndorff in that state. But he talked about how really the idea of doing that was that his father was in a hospital and no one would like come and get him out of the hospital, so he's got to die alone in the hospital. Right, so he said, I did that to force the hospital's hand, because the son wasn't listed as next of kin. It was his like estranged wife, so to force the hand to be able to take him home, and so they kind of went into the reasons for that. It was a very interesting, very good episode. Best episode for a couple of weeks. Okay, then we got some movies and TV to close us up here. I'll touch on, first of all, a movie that only I've seen, and then we'll get into the main event of the evening. Yeah. Which I would say 90% of our listeners are waiting to hear our thoughts on.
Oh, of course.
First up is a movie that I had not heard of until it was recommended to me. It's called Gail, Daughtry, and the Celebrity Sex Pass.
Okay. No.
Have you heard of it?
No idea.
It is the new movie directed by David Wayne of Wet Hot American Summer.
Oh, okay. Got it. Right.
It stars Zoe Deutsch, who is the daughter of Leah Thompson. And then some other people that I don't want to say too much about, because that would sort of spoil the... Not that the movie is easily spoiled, but there's some people that show up that are fun surprises, because I went into this movie basically blind. The story itself is funny. First of all, I think the movie I liked more than Wet Hot American Summer. I thought it was much funnier to my tastes. But the story is about a couple who are about to get married, and the wife, or the soon-to-be wife, is chatting with her. She works in like a hair salon. She's chatting with the other people there. Oh, who's your celebrity hall pass? You know, that if you could meet them, and she'd never heard of this concept apparently. And so they're, and she goes home, talks to her husband. Who would yours be? And so they come up with these names. And then the name that the husband has said suddenly is holding a signing in the town. And the husband goes, and through one thing after another, ends up doing the deed with the celebrity. And so now, to make it even, the wife has to go and find her celebrity and try to do the same, so that they're even again. Because the husband, for some reason, I guess is an idiot, didn't realize that this whole hall pass thing is just kind of a thought experiment. The expectation is not that you really go and do it, you know. But he did do it. And then from then on, funnily enough, the movie follows the plot of The Wizard of Oz, which is very weird, where they meet more characters who join along the way, and they all go in and want to get something of their own. She obviously wants to lay the celebrity, but the other characters want something of their own. And yeah, very, very funny. Much funnier than Wet Hot American Summer, which I thought was fine, but I feel like with Wet Hot American Summer, my expectations were up here, and the film's kind of okay. This was very silly, very funny. I will say though as well, possibly the worst looking movie I've ever seen. For example, I have seen Money Plane, starring Adam Copeland and
Kelsey Grammer as Darius the Rumble Grouch. Is that
correct? Very good recall. This movie makes Money Plane look like The Odyssey. Just the flattest, like it was recorded with an iPhone 7. The flattest Disney Channel sitcom look, with like oversaturated colors, like really, really, really ugly movie. But very funny. So I will give it a thumbs up on that. I thought it was very enjoyable. Nice little funny surprise. So I don't know where it's streaming or where you can get it, but if you're in the mood for a 90-minute movie that'll make you laugh, you could do worse.
Okay.
And then I guess we both, I'm assuming for you, but I guess we both made a trip to the cinema this week.
Yep, went out this morning
to see Tony. the new Anthony Bourdain biopic.
Yeah.
Which obviously I was very, very excited to see as the Matt Johnson super fan.
Mm-hmm.
You, I would say, maybe slightly more of a layman, but you've seen 2 previous of his movies. I know you really loved Blackberry as well.
How many movies has he made?
5.
What are the other ones? Why haven't I seen them?
The Dirties and Operation Avalanche. They're like really,
they sound
really
like fake movies to me. I'm not going to count those.
They are good, but I think you've seen, like, Blackberry was, let's say, quote unquote, his first like real movie.
Yeah, okay. I should watch the other 2. They look good. But yeah, no, I do like it. I mean, I love Blackberry. I like the band the show.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm excited for him. But also excited for Anthony, because it's an Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. I really know nothing about Anthony Bourdain.
Right. That's what I was kind of wondering, because I mean, I am quite familiar with him, but probably more so because Michelle's a big fan, and
I know he is a writer / chef / television presenter who kind of traveled the world and would eat, like, today we're eating a hen's cock. Yeah, lovely. I probably won't have that again. That's what I know about Anthony Bourdain.
It's interesting to hear that take.
Doesn't he do that kind of stuff? He goes and eats
it's not really
eating heart of a chip.
No, I wouldn't say he's like eating kind of unusual stuff.
Maybe not but including.
There might be a bit of that, but like it's mainly, I think what people really appreciate about him, is his kind of openness to like those cultures, and because the shows aren't just about food. Like, he goes into the history of the place and the kind of people and everything in the culture. So like Michelle loves him. She said I don't know if I said this podcast. She's the only celebrity death that she's cried at. That's what Michelle said. Right. And he has a real kind of beloved following
big
online.
Fan, yeah.
So I probably wouldn't have known him as much if it wasn't for that. But obviously I've got to know very well. Michelle's currently reading his book that this film is partly based on. Yeah. And I'm going to read it afterwards. But yeah, he's kind of a big figure, certainly in our house. But I do wonder, that was my kind of question. It's like, if I go to work on Tuesday and say, oh, I saw Tony, the film, at the weekend, would anyone in my office know, like, who Anthony Bourdain is?
No, I'd be like, well, that's the thing. So. Number one, you'd have to introduce it as the Anthony Bourdain movie.
Yeah.
And number 2, would anybody know even what that means?
I don't think so. So
it's a name I recognize. It's a name I would know.
Yeah.
But I've not seen any of his.
It's a certain kind of internet circle, I think, that really knows him. So the movie itself, what did you make of it?
Well, I'm going to come to it obviously from the non-Anthony Bourdain angle, just specifically the Matt Johnson angle. I thought, I went in with high hopes, obviously, because Johnson has to date sort of made movies his way with his team. And this had a different cinematographer. Obviously, it wasn't shot as a faux documentary of sorts. And so I was wondering, okay, and he's not in it critically as well, which he's been in everything he has made to date. He's had a part in, like, on screen.
Yeah. So
I was okay. Will it retain that kind of feel of a Matt Johnson movie, given it will look different and he's not in it? And I'm happy to say that it does for the most part. But also, I think it works on its own level, outside of being a Matt Johnson movie. I think it's got some really, really strong performances, I would say pretty unanimously across the board. I think everybody's great.
Yeah.
I would say Sessa and Banderas specifically.
Yeah.
So good. I think it's funny. I think it's serious when it needs to be. Heartfelt when it needs to be. I think it looks great. Performances are great. The score is great. Although I think it's probably, of Johnson's last 3 movies, I think it's the score that's kind of stood out at least to me. I thought Blackberry had a really phenomenal score, and Nirvana the band with its fake Back to the Future score I thought was really good as well. This one kind of, but then the movie is more of a kind of relaxed sort of vibe in a way anyway, so that kind of worked. I guess if I was to have a complaint about it, I think for me it kind of ran out of steam a little bit towards the end.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it thoroughly. I thought it was really, really strong, and I'm happy to say that Johnson has, for all intents and purposes, made a real movie and proved that he can do it. He can exist in that American movie infrastructure.
Yeah,
and he's done it very successfully.
Totally.
And were this a movie later in the year, and were this a movie with sort of a bigger, not budget necessarily, but like a bigger mainstream appeal or word of mouth, I mean, I'd be talking about like Oscar nominations. Like Banderas, I think is
I wonder about
is
that.
as good as. The problem is the movie's come out quite early as far as
It's come out
Oscar
as
buzz goes.
It also doesn't have a kind of necessarily like a sort of prestige.
Well, to an extent, it's a movie that
it should be like the biopic and a movie, but maybe like the lack of a big like. Banderas is a fairly big actor, but you know what I mean. You haven't got that kind of Oscar sort of actor who's going to go, oh, this is an Oscar movie. And it's just maybe not the kind of movie that's going to do it. It's also not like it hasn't got the kind of themes that they like, which is either disability, race, or about movies. Those are the type of things that will probably push it over the edge. You think of things like
Well, I would argue that it is about movies, but in a way that's not immediately apparent too. I mean, if you watch all 5 of Johnson movies, are thematically very easy to read as autobiographical about his struggles in the movies.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I mean, this is just transposed to becoming a chef.
To becoming a chef and writing, but not like. To an Academy Award.
They're not literally.
An Academy Award voter wants to vote for like
literally
the artist or La La Land, stuff like that. I'd agree with everything you said. Like I knew it was a Matt Johnson movie, but going in, I kind of had forgotten about that, or sort of put it out of my mind a little bit. So I wasn't watching it as like, oh.
So you saw Zapruder films, directed by Matt Johnson.
I wasn't thinking about the whole thing of like, oh, how do I compare this to previous movies of his? I was just watching it as a film, and I agree. I think it did feel completely different in terms of style, obviously, to his other stuff, but it was very funny. Like there was just very humorous bits I don't think other directors would have done. Like there's a bit very early on where Tony's mother corrects him on the pronunciation of a Bildungsroman, which is a coming of age novel, and it's like. His reaction to that was directed so like only a comedy director could have directed it as like how they did it. Another director would have fucked that up. So you can see there are moments like that were really funny because he knows how to like direct a comedy and cut a comedy.
But it's strange because it's funny, but it never feels like a comedy film.
No, that's it. It doesn't feel forced. It feels just very funny and kind of genuine. Yeah, and I liked it. In terms of tone, it kind of nailed, like you said, everything sort of from the comedy to the drama to the heartwarming moments. I do agree that like the kind of big finale in the third act feels a bit like Battle of the Bands. Like we've got
sort of
a concert to save the the orphanage kind of thing. And I was like, I was like, I feel like you could have done something like that a lot more subtle, but that would be, one of my only criticisms. Some of the kind of plotting, I think, was a little bit hokey. Even the bit where, so Leo Woodall is in it from Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy, who I think was very good in this, completely different character, really does a really good job. There's a bit where he kind of like, they're having loads of fun and they're lads and they're out, they're drinking and doing this, and then all of a sudden it gets very dark. But it's it's quite a quick turn. I'm like, you can maybe tease that out a little bit more. But apart from that, I wouldn't have any criticisms, and I really enjoyed it. I liked the journey it went on. I like the message. I like the characters, performances. Everything about it really good. I really, really enjoyed it. Would happily sit through that many a more time. Very watchable.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's so many good performances in it, and what I like about Setsa in particular is, okay, well, let me say I watched Mark Kermode's review of it, and he was kind of sniffy about it, which whatever you feel about a movie, that's your take. But I thought he had like very surface level criticisms that I was surprised for him as a professional critic to be so kind of again surface level about it. All these characters are unlikable. I said, well, what I liked about it is that specifically the Dominic Sessa character sort of, despite being so easily led and easily corrupted and a liar, what's the word?
He's a poser. He's a
pathological liar. Yeah, but
he's a teenage poser. He's at university. He thinks he's going to be the next fucking Kerouac or whatever.
Yeah,
and he's a poser.
But he lies extremely easily. Yeah, like everything is a lie to get.
He's like, we all knew that kid at school who was like, oh yeah, my dad's got a Ferrari or whatever, or oh yeah, I went to
my uncle works for Nintendo.
I went to the Oscars this year because my dad's works in Hollywood or whatever.
But he retains the likability. That's what I liked about it. Is that despite this character doing constantly bad things, you're always rooting.
He's such a mook. He's such a little like geeky knobhead, like blundering idiot that you can't help but like go, oh. And also, sparingly lies. That's the thing. I think that helps. It's so obvious that you're like,
even when he's caught in lies, though,
it's like a little kid lying to you, and you're like, yeah, okay, I know you're lying.
And lie on top of a lie on top of a lie on top of a lie. Okay, here's the truth, and then another lie. And then what Kermode said as well was like, at the end of the movie when he says, "I'm Anthony Bourdain," literally one of the last lines of the movie, if not the last. Compared that to like I'm Batman, or I'm Robin, the Robin line from the end of Dark Knight Rises. Oh, and you're Robin. And I was like, well, that wasn't to me a superhero reveal type line, like, oh, the movie ends with, and then he becomes Anthony Bourdain. That was to me more about him finally accepting who he is, and
exactly
the movie is deflecting from who he is.
Yeah, Tony is the persona, and he drops it.
Exactly.
They literally say that. The Shade says
he's
that.
letting off the persona.
Says, at least he tells the truth. That's the whole fucking point. So it was like something. The message was, it's better to be a real nobody than a fake somebody. That's like the message of the film, and that's where he gets to at the end. He realizes he's just a pot washer, and he wants more. And that's when he's honest with the girl. He's honest with, spoilers. He's honest with these things.
He's eventually honest at some point.
That's what I thought it was great. I'll say one more thing from me is that I really love the opening scene, the kind of interview scene. And I was thinking about it afterwards. What it really reminds me of is the opening scene of The Office, where David Brent is showing off to the interviewee. And like it perfectly sets up what this character is about, the kind of pretentiousness,
a bit of bread to
the phoniness. Like it's perfect. I don't know if Matt Johnson's a big fan of The Office. Maybe that inspired it.
But it's just like about how Nirvana the band was influenced heavily by The Office.
Yeah, perfect, absolutely perfect start to the film. Like it's amazing.
Johnson, you've done it again.
You son of a bitch.
You're not letting me down yet. So yeah, that's Tony. Go see it. Go support this movie. I'm curious how well it'll do now, because Nirvana the band, the show, the movie, had a lot of word of mouth. Didn't do that well at the box office, albeit being a literally an independent Canadian movie, fully funded by the government of Canada. So maybe their aspirations weren't that high for how much money it would make. I'm sure it made a profit. Curious with A24 behind Tony, how well it will do ultimately. Will it bring in a little bit of money? Because Johnson is, we've talked about this multiple times. He's a director on the up and up. Funnily enough, he's not a spring chicken by any means. He's obviously been around for a very long time, 40 already, I want to say. So he's going to start making stuff more in the mainstream. Like, now's the time. But then I feel like he's a director who's grown up but still likes to play in the sandbox a little bit, so at the same time, don't ever lose that, because one thing I love about Nirvana the band, and to an extent Blackberry, is how creative he can get with those movies. And one thing that you've mentioned, I think, in your Blackberry review, I don't know why this stuck in my head for so long specifically, because I think you taught me a word that I've still since liked using, which applies to Tony, is that one thing Matt Johnson doesn't make is a hagiographic biopic.
Yes.
Now, you talked about Tony in the hands of another director.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how arse-licky
I know.
West, you know? This is not that.
That's my problem with some people that like Anthony Bourdain as well. It's like, oh, Anthony, they've just fucking fallen over him, and I'm like,
well,
his whole thing is, but he's not perfect. You know, he admits he's not perfect. He had a lot of problems, and that's, you know, he could have died young because of those problems. But
because of that, yeah.
Yeah, but I just don't think that kind of movie is not interesting. That's the problem.
No. And I can imagine the Anthony Bourdain biopic, as I said, in different hands. But it's very funny because Matt Johnson, for better or worse, and I would imagine this is going to bite him sooner than later. But like when you see him interviewed about the movie, he's very open about everything. He's like, yeah, until I met Dominic Sessa, I had fucking no interest in making this movie whatsoever. No interest. It wouldn't be made. So it's interesting. Yeah, he like I said, likes to tell more, even with Blackberry and even with Tony, likes to tell, even though they're biographical about other things, likes to tell sort of more personal stories, which don't make the protagonists always look great. But yeah, but recommend Tony, of course. I'll presumably buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out, add it to the old collection. Yeah, really enjoyed it as well. And a well-behaved audience, which always helps. And then last thing, I guess, is X-Men 97 concluded this week, further opening up my schedule for other stuff. Last two episodes not very well received by the critics, but I enjoyed both of them. Go figure. So I would agree that it wasn't as strong as the first season, but it reminded me more of kind of the classic X-Men cartoons, even though they had more episodes per season, which is maybe where this one kind of suffered because it only had 9 episodes. But the X-Men cartoon was always kind of, despite being kind of serialized overall, it was very kind of story of the week. Right. This week we're fighting Sabretooth. This week we're going to an island with dinosaurs. This week we're doing something. And this one felt a little bit more like that, which I enjoyed for that reason. And towards the end, they made decisions that maybe were less palatable to the comic book readers, but it's some really interesting character stuff that I did enjoy. Without spoiling anything, they did hit on one of my pet peeves, which really would be my only criticism, is when you do something very serious in a season 1 that you then undo in season 2. And it feels like, okay, you're telling me, so take for example in I don't know, The Office, you know, the scene where Brent loses his job and begs for the job and whatever. Say 2 episodes later, Neil just comes in and goes, oh yeah, all that stuff we said, that's not happening anymore, so don't worry, everything's just going to go back to normal. Is it not? Well, you're teaching me to not feel impacted or invested when something big happens like that. X-Men, to an extent, did do that this season, which is did twice actually this season. They did it with Wolverine earlier, and then they did it with another character. I feel like, don't do that, because now when next big thing you do, I'll just say, oh, don't worry, they'll undo that in a few episodes, and it'll be fine. But overall, it was good. And that's everything we have on the docket for this week, Joe. So I guess we're done.
That is the end of the old bloody show. So we'll be back next week.
How about it? Oh, we got this boy somehow still has time.
Oh, God.
If anyhow took his pants off mid-match, he'd still be in the job.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, tremendous. Tremendous.
We will be back next week, hopefully, Barry.
We will.
So it will be the
final show, because obviously we won't have a podcast.
Might be a show on that Saturday, Sunday.
Maybe on the Monday. Let's see how.
Maybe the week after we do it.
Unless I get stranded in England again, as I did.
Yeah.
Week of All In 23.
And we'll do a live one.
I should be home by Monday evening.
Yeah.
Let me check what time my flight is actually. Hang on.
It's a Tuesday. It's Tuesday, Wednesday as well.
Could be a Tuesday. Could be any day really. Do I even have the fucking app on my phone for this? I do. Ryanair. I mean, thank you for the flight, of course. Flight is back at 1:10. So yeah, I should be here. Why'd you write how you know? I get the joke. I came up with it. How you know? Anyway, yeah. So we will have a show next week with Barry back, hopefully, to preview Wembo, and then Joe and myself will be at the show. Barry will be watching, I presume, on my AEW, and then we'll reconvene. Possibly the day after, possibly 2 days after. We'll see how we feel, see how our voices are. Famously, All In 2024, that's when I blew my voice out screaming for Sting when he came out. So I'll try and be more reserved this year, and we'll do some sort of review. Joe and myself with live takes, and Barry with the be like Dave Meltzer reviewing Maya World. We'll actually be able to do it. 2 days after, we'll be able to tell you how it was TV versus live. Okay, take us home, Joe.
Right, we will be back next week. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget, you can go to ChairShotPodcast.com to send us a message, send us some questions or anything else you want. You can find the back catalogue. You can check out the Fantasy League, which is updated throughout the week. Yep. And you can check all of that out and see the artwork as well. And don't forget to like and follow on Spotify.
You can donate as well at ChairShotPodcast.com.
Can you? Oh, get on the phone.
Me and Joe were discussing before the podcast about how much the recording costs. We don't want to harp on that too much. Because that's the thing. We don't often beg for money on this podcast. But I'll just, once every 6 months, I make mention of the fact that there is a donate button.
There's a donate button.
If you ever feel like doing so, actually, is it ChairShotPodcast.com/donate? I'm actually not 100% certain. But there's a button on there, top left-hand corner. If you feel like throwing us 50p towards the running cost, no, ChairShotPodcast.com/donate does not work. I should have checked that before I said it on the podcast. If you ever want to help out with the running cost of this podcast, of which there are some, not too many, but if you ever want to help out with that, that's how you can do it. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks for listening. And we will be back next week. Goodbye.
Yes, sir. Goodbye.